popped up somewhere new. Olive was wearing a white shirt, a black suit jacket and a bow tie. She was in a huge kitchen. Chefs in tall white hats running around, one using a large metal spoon to ladle soup out of a huge steaming pot, and another icing a big cake with a piping bag.
This is a really busy place.
She could hear someone smashing plates, and she went off to see what was happening. She noticed a rosy-cheeked manager surrounded by broken plates.
Oh, hello.
Said Olive.
Ah, bonjour, mademoiselle.
Said the manager.
My name's not Mademoiselle, it's Olive. Pleased to meet you. Are you okay?
I'm Pierre Petitpois, and it is the opening night of my restaurant Le Mange Tout.
Well, that's great.
Exclaimed Olive.
Oui, but the head waiter has not turned up, and the famous food critic Monsieur Le Croc is coming. How am I going to serve everyone their food on my own? C'est impossible.
Oh, dear. Well, I could help you, but you'll need to show me what to do.
Said Olive.
What a magnifique idea.
So Pierre showed Olive how to serve like a real waitress. She had to hold a tray with one hand, pour grape juice into a glass with another, meanwhile serving the finest sausage and mashed potato with 2 silver spoons.
Oh, heck. I'm not sure I'm very good at this.
Said Olive.
Oh, quel dommage. This will never work. We need to go faster.
Faster?
Thought Olive. Just then, Olive remembered all the equipment from the kitchen.
A silver ladle? A piping bag? I think I may have an idea.
Olive went to fetch the 2 items from the kitchen.
When it's time to serve the food, you hold up the customer's plates and I'll catapult the sausage and mashed potato onto them. Then I'll squirt the grape juice from the piping bag into the glasses. We should be able to serve them all in no time.
Olive, this idea is fantastic.
Very soon, the restaurant was full of hungry customers. So Olive and Pierre got to work, catapulting, catching, aiming and squirting. The food critic, Monsieur Le Croc, had arrived and was sitting, waiting for his dinner. It was all going so well until Olive began to serve the food a little too fast and Pierre couldn't keep up.
Olive, you must slow down.
Warned Pierre.
Or something bad is going to...
But before he could finish, Olive catapulted the mashed potato into the food critic Monsieur Le Croc's face and the sausage into his mouth. The whole restaurant fell silent.
Monsieur Le Croc, I'm ever so sorry. Are you okay?
Monsieur Le Croc didn't move for a second. Then he took a big bite of his sausage and licked his lips.
Magnifique. I have never seen service like it. I award Le Mange Tout the highest honor, la golden fork.
Pierre could not believe it.
Oh, mademoiselle, you saved the day.
All in a day's work, Pierre. But my name's Olive.
They both laughed. And as they did, Olive realized it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been a waitress in the finest French restaurant.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing in a long, thin room with lots of windows and seats down either side. She was wearing a rather smart blue dress and hat. There was a lady dressed the same as Olive standing between the rows of seats.
Hello, I'm Olive.
Hello, I'm Daisy. You must be the new flight attendant.
Flight 321 to Paradise Island. Passengers should board in 3, 2, 1.
A tannoy announced. Olive had to jump out of the way as a stampede of passengers rushed to their seats.
Hey, watch out!
The plane took off straight away.
I can see the...
Oh, ever so high.
Being a flight attendant is easy.
Said Daisy.
All you have to do is make sure the passengers are happy and they get their dinner on time.
Oh, that does sound pretty easy.
Said Olive. Daisy unbuckled her belt and reached under the seat, pulling out a box of eye masks, which she dumped in Olive's wings.
Right, first task is to pass around these eye masks.
Olive gave an eye mask to each passenger.
Good job, Olive.
Said Daisy. It was almost time for dinner. The smell of the food was wafting out of the kitchen, making the passengers hungry.
Is dinner ready? I'm hungry.
Called a man.
My tummy's rumbling really badly.
Whined a little girl.
What happens if the passengers don't get the dinner?
Asked Olive. Daisy frowned.
They get unhappy, and we don't want unhappy passengers. Right, Olive. Dinner trolleys are ready to go. We just have to push them down the aisle so we can give the passengers their dinner trays.
Olive jumped behind the trolley and pushed hard. The trolley jerked forward for a moment, but then it stopped.
It looks like I'm stuck.
Cried Olive.
The wheels must have jammed. Oh, how are we going to get the dinners to the passengers now?
We're getting very unhappy. Yes, very unhappy.
Shouted the passengers.
Olive, what are we going to do?
Olive scratched her beak and looked around. At her feet was one of the eye masks. She picked it up and looked down the aisle, where she spotted coat hooks above every single seat.
A line of coat hooks? Eye masks? I think I may have an idea.
Olive tied together lots and lots of eye masks. She then looped them over the coat hooks and got the passengers to do the same all the way down the plane.
Right, Daisy. We need to tie the dinner trays to the eye masks.
Olive tugged on the eye masks and the dinner trays started travelling along the plane down to the passengers. Then the trays dropped in front of each passenger one by one. The whole plane load of people cheered before they tucked into their dinners.
Good job, Olive.
Said Daisy.
The passengers would have been lost without you.
I don't know about lost, but they certainly would have been hungry.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Gek, actually, I've been an air hostess in an aeroplane.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing in a big room wearing a silver hat and a costume.
Gek, this is a sparkly costume, but where am I?
Olive could see lots of interesting objects. There was a table with a top hat, a rabbit and playing cards on it. And next to the table was a tall cabinet with a door in the front. Suddenly, from behind the cabinet, a little man appeared, holding a magic wand. He was peering at the cabinet very closely.
Oh, what's wrong with this trick?
Muttered the man.
Excuse me, can I help at all?
Oh, who are you? Did you appear out of thin air?
I'm Olive. I suppose I did.
I'm Hey Presto, Master Magician. Things magically appear out of thin air around here all the time. For example...
Hey Presto reached behind Olive's head and pulled out a red hanky. Attached to a blue hanky. Attached to a yellow hanky. Soon, he had pulled out a huge, long rope of hankies.
Ta-da!
Dick, that was an amazing trick.
Thank you, Olive. Problem is, though, I've been having lots of trouble with this trick. My magic cabinet.
What sort of trouble?
I keep losing my magician's assistants in it. They climb inside, I wave my wand and say Abracadabra. And when the door opens, they've completely disappeared.
Sounds like another amazing trick to me.
But I can't get them to appear again.
Wailed Hey Presto.
Oh, I've already lost 5 assistants this week. You must be the new assistant I ordered, but I don't want to lose you as well.
Where could they all have gone?
Wondered Olive. Then she spotted the long rope of hankies.
A rope of hankies? A magic cabinet? I think I may have an idea. Hey, Presto, could you tie one end of the hanky rope to my wing?
Of course.
OK, I'll get in the cabinet and you make me disappear. The hanky rope will mean that wherever I go, you can pull me back again.
Excellent idea. Just give the rope a tug when you want me to pull you back.
Olive stepped into the cabinet and hey presto closed the door. He tapped on the cabinet with his magic wand and said,
Abracadabra!
Suddenly, a trap door opened underneath Olive and she fell straight down a long chute. She finally dropped onto a huge pile of cushions. Olive looked up and saw she was in a little room. Sitting around on chairs were lots of magician's assistants.
Hello there. You must be the missing magician's assistants.
Yes, we are.
Said one.
Some of us have been down here for ages. It's very boring, but at least there's a machine selling fizzy drinks and crisps.
Well, I'm here to rescue you. I need all of you to hold hands in a line and one of you to hold on to my wing.
Once they were all holding hands, Olive called up the chute.
Hey, presto!
Hey presto started pulling up the rope and soon Olive and all the magician's assistants were being hauled up the chute together. Finally, they reached the top. Hey presto pulled Olive and all the missing assistants out of the cabinet.
Oh, well, now I have more assistants than I know what to do with. Thanks so much, Olive.
That's okay. You'll soon have one less. It's probably time I disappeared anyway.
They all laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been a disappearing magician's assistant.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive found herself in a village street with lots of shops.
Oh, just the hat for a rainy day.
Olive spotted a postman sitting on a bench nearby. He looked rather sad.
Hello, Mr. Postman. I'm Olive. Are you okay?
Not really. The 3 parcels I was supposed to deliver today have fallen out through this hole in my post bag, and now they're lost.
If we retrace your steps, maybe we'll find them.
Yes, we could try.
Olive and the postman walked down the village street and saw a baby elephant in its pram, giggling and playing with something. It was a brown parcel.
Ah, that's one of my missing parcels.
Oh, the baby thinks the parcel is its new toy. Maybe it would like to swap the parcel for a tickly feather.
Olive plucked a feather from her wing and tickled the end of the baby's long nose. The baby started to laugh and Olive swapped the parcel for the feather.
He loves it. Okay, where to next?
The mechanic's workshop.
Soon, Olive and the postman were standing outside the mechanic's workshop. A car was sitting high in the air on a lift. And on top of the car roof was another parcel.
Oh dear, the mechanic is on his lunch break. How are we going to reach that parcel?
Olive noticed a wheel hubcap lying on the floor.
I think a spot of frisbee throwing should do the trick.
Olive threw the hubcap towards the parcel. Whiz! Clunk! It knocked the parcel off the car roof, sending it toppling down into the postman's waiting arms.
Oh, good shot, Olive. One more parcel to find.
And I think I know exactly where it is.
In the centre of the village was a fountain, and bouncing around on top of the jet of water was the final parcel.
Oh dear, we're never going to catch it.
Olive spotted a tap nearby. She turned the tap off, and the water stopped gushing from the fountain, sending the parcel dropping down into the postman's arms.
Oh, but Olive, look. The rain has washed all the addresses off the parcels. How will we know who they belong to? They all look the same.
3 similar-looking parcels that all smell different. I think I may have an idea. We can work out where the parcels need to go by smelling them. That way we can guess what's inside.
Great idea, Olive.
Olive smelt the first parcel.
This one smells of flowers.
It must be for the flower shop.
Olive was right. It was a bunch of flowers. Olive smelt the second parcel.
Ah, this smells of oil.
It must be for the mechanic's shop.
Olive was right again. It was a new oil can. Olive smelt the last parcel.
Ooh, that smells of a sheep. Oh, it must be wool for the tailors.
The tailor was very pleased with the postman for delivering his parcel. And to say thank you, he sewed up the hole in the postbag to make sure the postman never lost any parcels again.
Thank you for all your help, Olive.
That's okay. I think I may have a nose for delivering the post.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been helping deliver the post.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Till she popped up somewhere new. Olive was wearing a bright yellow safety jacket and a hard hat and big black boots.
Egg, I should be nice and safe wearing this lot.
She was standing on a building site. There was a house being built, but it was only half finished. Lots of workmen were sitting around doing nothing. One read a newspaper, another was fast asleep.
Oh, look, there's some bird over there.
Said one.
Yes, I am a bird, thanks very much. I'm an ostrich.
Can I help at all?
Said a gruff voice. Olive turned to see a big man with lots of stubble on his face. With him was a little boy.
Oh, hello, I'm Olive. It doesn't seem very busy here.
I'm Butch the foreman. We're meant to be building this brand new home, but my son Eric here came to visit me today and he brought his pet puppy Gordon.
Yes, and Gordon slipped off his lead and ran off with his special plans to the house. They're called blueprints. Now he's lost somewhere on the building site.
Blueprints. They sound important.
They certainly are. Without those blueprints, none of my men can do any work.
Olive spotted a van selling sausage sandwiches next to the building site. The sausages smelled really good.
Some tasty smelling sausages. A lost puppy. I think I may have an idea. Butch, can I borrow that digger, please?
Go right ahead, but Eric and I will ride with you. Safety first around here.
Olive jumped into the digger with Butch and Eric.
Easy.
She drove it over to the van and asked the owner to put a whole pile of sausages into the bucket and tie strings of sausages to the back of the digger. Olive drove the digger full of sausages all over the building site.
Keep your eyes peeled for Gordon. When he smells all these sausages, he's sure to come out from his hiding place.
She drove past the cement mixer. Eric peered inside but couldn't see Gordon. Olive drove past the crane. Eric looked up inside the cab, but the puppy wasn't inside. Then she drove all around the half-finished house.
I don't see Gordon anywhere.
Olive turned to see there were lots of dogs chasing the digger.
Gag, they must be after the sausages.
Maybe Gordon's with them. Let's stop and see.
Olive stopped the digger and they gave the sausages to the hungry dogs. But Gordon wasn't with them.
It's no good. I think Gordon's lost forever.
But then Olive heard something. The sound of someone snoring gently. It was coming from underneath the sausage van. Olive peered under the van, and there, fast asleep, was a little puppy.
Gordon, we found ya.
Gordon had a big fat tummy from eating lots of sausages, and he was also lying on something. It was the blueprints for the house.
Excellent. Now we can finish building this home for stray dogs.
All the dogs barked happily when they heard this.
Thanks for helping me find Gordon, Olive.
And thanks for helping me find the blueprints for the dog home. Would you like to stay for a sausage sandwich?
I think I've seen quite enough sausages for one day, thanks.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been helping find a lost puppy on a building site.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.